Hey folks, how are you all doing? It's Cam back at you again. Today I'm bringing you an answer to a question I got from one of my subscribers, and it's who's in your top 5 favourite guitarists? And that was probably one of the most difficult questions I've ever been asked in my life. So I decided to cheat and make it my top 6 favourite guitarists because I couldn't leave one of them out. Here we go with my top 6 guitarists. Right, a guitarist you would never expect to be on my list of favourite guitar players, but The Edge. What I really love about The Edge is, one, he looks really fucking cool in that beanie hat, and also as well, he's just a master of melody, and I think he's the engine that drives U2. Forget Bono, I mean literally, The Edge is U2, and I really love his stuff, but the thing is with me, you'll probably find, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, The Edge has had literally zero influence on my playing. But what I love, also as well, I've got quite a lot of an emotional investment in U2 because I was listening to their music at a pretty important time in my life, and basically it's really stuck with me. I've got sort of a little sort of soft spot for The Edge and U2 and their playing. And that's why The Edge is in my top 5. Yes, the 5th player on my list is John 5. How appropriate. I've really been I've known him for a very long time, and I think he's absolutely fantastic for 2 reasons. One, he's an incredibly talented guy, he's incredibly modest, and also I love the way he blends different styles together. He's got very much a country flair to him, and also he blends it very well with heavy metal. And I really love that idea. And if you listen back to, if you listen to some of his solo career stuff, if you listen to Marilyn Manson, which admittedly I don't very often at all, if at all, and a lot of his other things, absolutely fantastic player. And also, not a lot of people know this, although it did sort of break John 5, I believe, in the early days, was he played for David Lee Roth in the early 90s, doing things like the DLR Band album. And that's probably where my favourite stuff by John 5 lives. And what I really love is the way he's just got an awesome flair on that album. If you listen to songs like Relentless, What Was That?, and even some of the quieter ones like Black Sand or Going Places, I love the riffs. Like, this is played with 2 guitarists, so it's not going to come out right, but that kind of thing. And I really just love the way it blends together, and he's a fantastic guitarist, and he seems like a really nice guy too. So definitely go and check him out if you haven't already. That's my number 5. It was kind of obvious he was going to be on the list, really, Eddie Van Halen. I've got to be honest with you, unsurprisingly, he showed everybody, including myself when I first heard him, how the lead guitar could be played. And the first thing I heard, unsurprisingly enough, was Eruption, and I was blown away thinking it was, but honestly, I thought it was a keyboard initially. And to be honest, I didn't think, this sounds really silly, because I first heard Van Halen when I was probably about 4 or 5, and I thought Van Halen was, of course it's the band, but I didn't think Van Halen was a person. I originally found out who the guy was, and I was like, dude, he's amazing, I love this guy's playing, and I literally just learned all of his licks and some of his riffs. And I absolutely love everything he's done. A true innovator. But man, he's a right arsehole as well. Every time I see him in an interview, I'm sure he said in an interview that that Jimi Hendrix was all effects or something. You used a phaser on all of your first and second albums. Okay, before that causes controversy, I'm going to end that there. Anyway, Eddie Van Halen. Satchel, what can I say? Absolutely one of my biggest influences, if not the biggest influence so far. I absolutely love his playing, and the way I look at his playing originally, because the first thing I heard from them was obviously Death to All But Metal. It found me first, and I absolutely loved that song. At first I hated it, but I absolutely loved it, and I started to get around the fact that Steel Panther were a spoof effectively, and that they're amazing musicians and absolutely fantastic at what they do. And if you will, the way I look at Satchel as a guitarist, if you will, is like Eddie Van Halen but with software updates. There's like a bit more of a modern edge to Satchel, if you know what I mean. That's the most ridiculous analogy ever, but that's the way I see Satchel's playing. There's like a sort of modern edge to him, and I really, really love that. Anyway, Satchel, a great, great guitarist. So we have Gus G ranking at number 2 on my list. Absolutely brilliant guitarist, of course, guitarist of Ozzy and Firewind. Really, really love that guitarist for 2 reasons. I love his tone, incredibly modern, really crisp, really melodic and clear. And also the way he has, if you will, carried the torch. I think that's actually a quote from him, carried the torch for Ozzy's music. If you will, to me, he kind of blends Zakk Wylde in terms of heaviness and in terms of sort of panache and style of Randy Rhoads. And I really, really love that sort of, the way it works. A lot of people, I think, slate him because he's not like the others. And I think, to be honest, you can't replace other guitarists. I think all you can do is play their stuff differently and with your own tone and sound. And I think he's an absolutely fantastic guitarist. I've met the guy before. He's a really, really nice guy, and hopefully I'll meet him again soon because I see Firewind in February, so I can't wait to go to that. And I love his licks too. They're incredibly simple, incredibly effective. I love the way he sweeps. I love everything he does. So just take, I don't know, this is an example. I'll just improvise, do some things. Love everything about his playing. So I only left a question mark and no picture. So what could that mean? See if we can get some telepathy on the go to see who my favourite guitarist is. I don't know, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, Jason Becker, Paul Gilbert, Jakey Lee. You're all wrong, because my favourite guitarist is actually my dad. Oh yes. Because what can I say apart from the fact that he is my absolute rock and icon for music. He got me into music in the first place. I wouldn't have the taste of music that I have. I wouldn't have anything with regard to equipment. I'd have literally nothing if it hadn't been for my dad dictating to me what is right and what is wrong in terms of guitar playing, what's cool and what's not. And he basically just taught me the rules of the game. He was a guitar player for years. He's not quit, he still plays, but he's just a great, great guitarist and really has inspired me no end. And what can I say? I hopefully could get him on here at some point. I don't think he really wants any camera attention, but I'll put on my persuasive shoes sometime and see if I can get him on here to do a video. My absolute icon, my dad is my #1 guitarist. Cheers, Dad. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you've liked what you've seen. I'll catch you again in the next one. Give us an idea for what you want me to record for you, and I shall see you later. Bye.